G'day beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about what the hell Wraith actually is. What is his role? Is he a fighter? Is he a caster? Is he a support? Blah 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 blah. So I can't actually sit here and tell you. It's a conversation that we can actually start. So if you have any input in any way, shape or form, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment section in the down there. And if you're not already, guys, please make sure you subscribe for more Paragon content. But let's get straight into it. So, a lot of people are actually asking, since the release trailer came out, what is this actually what actually is his role? There's a lot of debate about it. A lot of people are finding stats of his on Paragon DB in where you can see that he actually apparently has a 0.6 power scaling, which is the weak end of the fighter spectrum. A lot of people are arguing the fact that because he is an attacker, it actually says that he's an attacker, that means that he is a fighter, because an attacker is a fighter, which is not exactly the case, because an attacker is simply someone that does a lot of damage with their basic attacks, meaning anyone from a fighter up to a carry is an attacker. A lot of people are saying that he is just a support. Some people are saying he's an offlaner. And the thing that's closer to the truth is actually that he's kind of intentionally been brought out to not actually have a specific role. Paragon themselves actually went on to Reddit and posted a short article about how Wraith is kind of a bit of an oddball character due to his utility and his range and lack of damaging abilities. He does do a lot of damage on his basic attacks, nothing huge like like a Wukong or a Murdoch. He's not going to scale like a carry. He's not going to be hitting any 500 attacks. But his basics will do more than a normal caster. He's probably, as far as his standard damage output goes, he's going to hit about as hard as an Aurora. He will have damage on his snipe, but I believe he's not actually getting any damage scaling whatsoever. So it's a set amount of damage that you'll get off his snipe. His other abilities have no damage, obviously. And that is why people are sort of saying that he should be a support, because the majority of his abilities don't do damage, they're utility. So there's a decent argument to be made for him being played as a fighter, like an off-lane fighter. There's decent arguments to be made for him being a mid laner. There's arguments to be made for him being a support. You could even go as far as to say that he would be a decent jungler with shitty early wave clear. He's not going to be wild because he does only have a 0.6 scaling, but he kind of has gank potential. I think of all the possibilities, I think jungling is probably the worst. I think offlane is a very, very good option, and support is where I'm kind of thinking of taking him first. As Paragon say themselves, since Wraith doesn't fit into most traditional MOBA styles, players will have the opportunity to experiment and innovate. Maybe he's a roaming offlaner, disrupting the enemy jungler while constantly ganking for the mid laner. Wraith could potentially be a roaming support, going from lane to lane, poking down his enemies while acting as a source of mobile vision for the team. Or maybe he's just the mid laner your team needs, poking down enemy laners and dominating the vision game. So, first of all, just don't get up each other about how your opinion of where he should be played is the place where he should be played, because he was specifically brought out to be extremely flexible and work in many different ways so that we can actually figure out what the great ways of playing him are. See, what I'm planning on doing first is actually using him as a damage support. I will have my normal utility and a bit of damage on him, and I just think that being able to, at a certain point, have my safe lane warded up, either by actual wards that I'm using or my my carry actually using the wards and then roaming the map, trying to make things happen. I mean, you can imagine the possibilities when you and the carry take your first tower and you rotate towards mid, you make your way through the jungle, you meet up with your jungler, you all go invis, and you take out the mid laner, or you just take out the mid laner and then group up with your mid laner and go invis and take their safe lane. He's going to be very, very good in that regard. He will be able to handle mid really, really well because he'll have the damage at the start to get those easy last hits. He may not have an escape per se, but you could argue the fact that neither does Bellica. She simply has a knock-up, but her knock-up is going to be as effective, if not less effective, than being able to take someone from where they were and move them back, where they are and move them back to where they were. So if you turn around, you're getting ganked by a Grux, you can simply make your way to the tower, and then when he gets close enough to initiate a pull, you just pop him back to where he was moments ago and make your way safely onto the tower. So he'll be able to handle mid lane very, very well. Off lane would also be a good shout because the sooner he gets his ultimate, the better. So you could argue that that is actually his best position. But as I said, he was brought out specifically to not actually fit a role completely. You know, he's and it's not even the case of a lot of people are actually saying, yeah, but we already have heroes like that because, you know, X hero can mid lane but can off lane. That's because they're casters. Generally, if you're a caster that can handle mid, you can handle off lane. That's just the way things are. And then you have the tanky off laners that do really well as well, fighters. So just the fact that she sort of scales like a fighter, scales kind of like a fighter, has ability set kind of like a caster, and has a lot of utility, means that he kind of matches up with an offlaner, with a mid laner, with a fighter, with a support. So it's just going to be really interesting to see what everyone goes and does with him. So if you have an intention as to how you expect to play him first, when you first get your hands on him, I would love to hear what that is, because the more suggestions on how we can all play him, the better off we're going to be, because we're not actually being told, right, take him there. You know, it's not like Narbash was released and he was a support, okay, take him with the carry. We're going to have to figure out with his skill set and his scaling what the best spot or spots are for him, what the best role or roles are for him. So I just thought I would make a video today just talking about a few things, just to make sure, like, I would really love for a few people that you know, copying flack over their opinions as to where he should be played. I'd love for you to be able to hear this and just realize that it doesn't matter what people tell you he should be played as, because none of us really know exactly what he should be played as. So don't take anything anyone says to mean that you are wrong. We could all potentially be wrong. You know, maybe there is just one specific spot that he should be played, but chances are he's going to shine in a few different spots that most other heroes wouldn't be able to fit in. He'll be able to fit in spots that other supports won't fit in. He'll be able to fit in spots that other casters won't fit in, and so on and so forth. So I hope you got something out of this video. I would love to hear your suggestions as to where you think he should be played or how you're going to play him in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this in any way, shape or form, please smash the like button and subscribe for more Paragon content, guys. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. I love your face, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.